All right, let's see what egg number 1 is going to be. Oh, yes! We take those. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you, sir. May I have another? All right. Pokemon number 2. Ho, ho, ho! Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the first time in a long time, it is that time, right about that time, for your favorite new Pokemon challenge and mine. My name is Sebastian Todd III. You may call me ST3, and this is the SoulSilver gift only Pokemon Nuzlocke, and we will get into what that means. But if you enjoy this channel so far, this is Series 3, the debut. Please hit the like button down below. Please subscribe to the channel to know when episodes go up. We'll get into that as well. But also hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of the schedule or when they actually post. So like button, subscribe button, bell if you want to be notified, and we would appreciate all of the above. And welcome back. It's been a long time. It's been a week away from the last time we were here together on the channel. And if you missed what happened 1 week ago today, last Monday, please go check out the Leaf Green Randomizer Nuzlocke that we did on the channel. And spoiler alert, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we lost. We got beat. We got beat bad. We started off on a high note with a Mewtwo encounter in that episode. We thought things were going to go well. The Mewtwo encounter was not a sign of things to come, as Groudon later entered the chat in I believe it was the rival battle, and just beat us senseless, and we had nothing we could do to the Groudon, and therefore we lost. So we took the rest of the week off, in part because I just didn't have time, and in part because we needed some time to get this up and running. So we are back on the channel here today, and ladies and gentlemen, we are going to identify as the boy character today. Use the he/him pronouns, but whatever pronouns you use, let us know in the comments below, and we will do our best to adhere to those. We will name our character, as always, ST3. But yes, this is going to be a SoulSilver gift-only Pokemon Nuzlocke. So what do I mean by gift-only Pokemon Nuzlocke? What I mean by that, and I'm sure you've seen others do this before, or some variation of this, and I hope I'm putting a wee little spin on this by doing this as a randomizer. But essentially, the only Pokemon that we can use in this game are ones that are given to us. We can't throw a Pokeball at any Pokemon. So we will get no legendary in this game unless it's our starter. Because the way we randomize this, it's legend to legend, it's not legend to not legend. So the starters are a free-for-all. But other than that, any gift Pokemon are just random. So what that means is, in this game, we'll get the starter. There are the 3 eggs from Primo. There is the egg from Professor Elm at the end of beating the first gym. And then there is Shucky on the island. We get a gift Pokemon after the Dragon's Den. And we get a gift. I think there's one more I'm missing. later in the run. But anyway, not a handful or not a lot of Pokemon, so this is going to be a lot harder. We do not have a level cap. We are not doing a hard mode. We're not doing extreme. We are simply doing this as is, Nuzlocke style, in that while we aren't catching encounters and routes, if we lose a Pokemon, that Pokemon is done for the run. Can't come back in. We will put it in the death box, and we have to nickname everything. Have to nickname everything. So let's talk about the series before we get started. Let's talk a little bit about the schedule. I'm going to try to stick to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. And let's set a goal right now. Let's set a goal. Because I'm going to record a couple episodes here tonight, or try to. It's Sunday night, the night before this actually goes up. We always like to peek behind the curtain here. But we are going to try to get these up every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, by 7 p.m. And if we hit, we're new channel, right? So let's make this realistic, but also like a little bit higher. If we hit 50 likes on episode 1 by the end of April, so we have 7 days, a whole week to do that. If we hit 50 likes, 6 days by the time this goes up, if we hit 50 likes on episode 1, we will add a Sunday episode to it. So there's a challenge for you. If you want to see 4 episodes a week, hit that like button, share, subscribe, get people watching, hit the like button again. 50 likes on this episode in 6 days, we will add a 4th episode in the week. If we don't hit it, no worries. We're fine with that too. But let's get into the actual gameplay of SoulSilver. And I know what you're thinking, Sebastian. We just did Heart Gold in Series 1. Then we lost Leaf Green. Now we're back into Gen 4 remakes with SoulSilver. Why? Why is simple. I wanted to do something a little bit different than just a normal Nuzlocke run-through. And I thought an easy kind of fun way to do that for me has always been the gift Pokemon only. Adds a little bit of a challenge. And I'm more familiar with all of the gift Pokemon in SoulSilver Heart Gold. I thought about doing Yellow, but there's only 151 Pokemon in Yellow. And while there are a handful of gift Pokemon, I feel like it just makes it more exciting when there's a greater set of Pokemon to pull from with the randomizer specifically. So we are headed in that way first and foremost. And I know the starter. We have a special nickname set aside for the starter, regardless of what it is. Regardless of what the starter is, we have a nickname already lined up, ready to go. And in this episode, we might only end up with the starter. Let's see how far we go. We want to make episode 1 because there's all this explanation stuff in the beginning a little bit longer, but we're going to try to stick to about 30-minute episodes for now, just to make it a little bit easier on me, as I've said before, behind the scenes. When we edit these episodes, get them ready to go, the editing itself takes at least 30 minutes. The actual then buffering, once the episode's all good to go, like the processing takes about 30 minutes, maybe 40 sometimes, and then the upload can take 45 or so minutes. So really, while this episode might only be 30 minutes once it's up, behind the scenes, this episode takes about 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, somewhere in that range. Maybe an hour and a half if we're lucky. But beyond, that's beside the point. Before we open the starters, just because I've already talked nonstop in the 7.5 minutes or so we've been going, I do want to just remind people, not sponsored by Nature's Promise Water, but drink your water, recycle your bottles afterward. Water is important for your day, and as I've said before, my goal is about 100 ounces of water per day. So let's see, we want something strong right here, because this Pokemon has to carry us to Primo. We have no other Pokemon between now and Primo. There's no route that we need to worry about. It's 3 eggs at Primo next. And this Pokemon has to be good enough that we can train those Pokemon up from Primo as well. So we're looking for something powerful here in our starters. Let's take a look at what we're going to see. And comment down below. Any guesses? We're going to do honor system. Any guesses what you think these Pokemon are going to be? All right, we're going to go to the right first, and we see a Badoo. It is a Pokemon. I can confirm Badoo is a Pokemon. that we could choose that would be difficult to use because Rosalia and then Roserade. Roserade is great, but we'd have to pray that with the randomizer we find the stone, the shiny stone. So that's a tough decision. Let's hope for something better, right? We got two more options. So number 2, Rampardos. Um, Definitely better than Badoo in terms of it's fully evolved already, decent move pool. Obviously has some weaknesses that aren't great for us, but it would do. We could make it work. We could make it work. Um, and then the third and final option for our starter Pokemon, Lily. Rock and Grass still evolves pretty late. Um, Not a great collection of Pokemon to start with. I think we're going with Rampardos. I think we're going with Rampardos because, well, just because I think it's fully evolved. It gives us the best chance. This thing is more or less going to be on the team the entire playthrough, and we're going to red. We don't do SoulSilver halfway. We're going to red. So you know what? Let's do Rampardos. And as I said, we have a powerful, powerful nickname lined up because the day that this goes up, there are two very important, strong, awesome women in my life who have birthdays. My grandfather's niece, I don't know what that makes her to me, and my aunt. And my aunt turned 60 today, so happy birthday, aunt, if you are watching. You know your name. I will save because you haven't asked. Like, I don't want to dox you necessarily here on the YouTube channel. But aunt, happy birthday, happy 60th. And we're going to name this after something that I know you absolutely love and adore, and that is Alaska and a bunch of things that go with Alaska. So, we're naming this Alaska after my aunt. There is a reason. She's a big fan of Alaska, big fan of the Iditarod, has some friends in Alaska, so she's been there a couple times. So I want to honor her in that way, without giving away her name if she doesn't want it out there for the whole wide world to see, through YouTube at least. I will honor her through Alaska. So happy birthday, aunt! And it's weird to not say her name, or even a nickname. And we will rock out with Rampardos, aka Alaska, as the starter. If you want a Pokemon, there's not a ton in this game, but if you want a Pokemon named after you, leave a comment down below, and we will do the best that we can to name them after you. Otherwise, I'm going to try to name them after subscribers on the channel. If you are a subscriber and you are in private mode, please know that it's not that I'm ignoring you, it's that I can't see you. And please do not feel obligated to take yourself out of private mode just to get a nickname. You can leave a comment. I can see the comments still of what you might want a Pokemon named in your honor, or I have a favorite Pokemon and I want to name it insert whatever here. As case in point, Denny P67 in the first ever series on the channel mentioned that Diglett is her favorite Pokemon, and if we ever encountered a Diglett, she would like to see it nicknamed Wormmelon. And in that series, we ended up with actually two Diglets, a Dugtrio and a Diglett, and we definitely named one. Actually, I think we had two Dugtrios, and we named them Wormmelon. I will say, speaking of that Dugtrio, in Heart Gold, we ended up trading one of the Dugtrios away for, I think it was a Jinx in the power plant once we got into Kanto. And we can do that in this series if for some strange reason, because the trade Pokemon are randomized, what you can give and what you can get. If one of the handful of Pokemon that we actually are able to get in this series is tradable and the thing we get back is better. For example, no offense to my aunt and to Alaska, the Rampardos, but if we get into the next city and we see that there's a possible trade available where they want a Rampardos, and in return they give us, let's say, Rayquaza, well, guess what? Bye-bye, Alaska. We are taking the Rayquaza. So we will check out all of the options for trades as we go. Another big thing that we want to pay attention to is, unlike some other people's challenges that you might see on the channel, and I am not saying they're right or wrong. I love them, so they do their challenges their way. I'm doing it this way. And that way that I'm talking about, this way that I'm going to do it, is that if we can't learn an HM on a Pokemon, that HM isn't available to us. Now, there are some that we need to progress in the game. Cut is going to be super important. I think Alaska can learn Cut. We'll find out. HM compatibility should be, if I did the randomizer correctly, should be the same as it always is in Gen 4. So, ideally, we will get a Pokemon. There's a fly in here. We will get a Pokemon that can learn Cut. Similarly, we're going to need Surf. So hopefully we can find a Pokemon that can learn Surf. The one that we can kind of get away with is Rock Smash. I don't think we need Rock Smash for anything. Maybe we do, but I know that Alaska could definitely learn Rock Smash. And the other one that we don't need for sure is Fly. Makes it a lot harder to not have Fly. Don't get me wrong. It takes a lot longer to get around places, but we can do the game without Fly. So if that's the case, then that's the case. So such is life. And I'll try to put all of this in the description down below, the gift Pokemon idea in the description, just so it's easier to find and people don't have to try to remember. And as we kind of get through the first part of this game, which can take a while, let's talk about the week that was, because the week that was awesome. There was a lot of great things that happened in my life. I hope you can say the same for you. Part of it was we had this event at work and ended up volunteering to make cookies. I ended up making 7 dozen cookies one night. So that was obviously it's hard to do any kind of anything else while you're baking because you need to keep an eye on what you're cooking. So I was mostly listening to an audiobook actually at the time while I was cooking. So something that you can do pretty easily, but still be paying attention to what you're doing because the old saying is keep an eye on what you fry. And though I was baking, same idea. Don't want to burn anything down. But yeah, we had a great event. We had, as part of that event, there was some other little errands we had to do in it, making some shirts at work for the event that we customized. So did some work on that throughout the week. And then one of the fun things is Alaska, the aunt in question here, as I said, turned 60 today as you're watching this, Monday, the 24th. And we celebrated her on Saturday here at my place. So some of the fun stuff of getting ready to host a bunch of people and cook and all that fun stuff. We just got a dome fossil. And here's a conundrum. For me, I typically just sell fossils early because we can't get the fossils revived until we're in Pewter City in Kanto, which is like 97 hours away. But we didn't throw Pokeball. It wasn't given to us. We found it. So I think it does not count as a gift Pokemon because nobody was like, here, take the fossil. Like in Red and Blue, right? Or Yellow. You go through Rock Tunnel. Sorry, you go through Mount Moon. And you battle that last like Rocket Admin. And the Rocket Admin is like, all right, you take one of fossils, the Helix, or the oh my gosh, what's the other fossil? In Gen 1. Anyway, you take one and I'll take the other. Is it Armor Fossil? I don't remember. Anyway. Yeah. That you're given the fossil. Here we found the fossil. So you know what? Let me know in the comments below. I've asked for a lot of things in the comments. I know. But let me know in the comments below. Do you think a fossil that we find counts as a gift Pokemon? And it's okay if you don't. There's no wrong answer. The right answer is what we decide to do. This is our series. We're doing this as a gift Pokemon only run. So if we don't think it's a gift given to us and that we can't count it, well, then there's our answer. I will say that a difficult thing to think about, more so when we get into some of the trainers on the way north here, is that we don't have a move that can hit Ghost. And I know saying that out loud is like jinxing everything, but if you've watched Pokemon or played Pokemon, you've probably already thought about that, and you're like, is he going to even pay attention to this? Does he know that this is going to be a thing? Yes, I do. And I honestly don't know off the top of my head what Rampardos' move set is in terms of level up. Um, I know he gets moves that would hit Ghost. I just don't know when. So we're gonna find out together here. We know that the starter's not gonna have any Ghost Pokemon. The rival, because that we saw the starters. He is either gonna have Badoo or what was the other starter? Lileep, right? I think. You know what we should do? Because we have randomized abilities, we should check our ability. Trace. Not bad. Might not be. Could be good. Could be bad. I think it. Obviously, if we trace a huge power, cool. We both get huge power. If we trace a Wonder Guard and we're facing a fire type, well then sweet. We can only be hit by water or grass or fighting. If if we trace slow start, if we trace Truant, then yeah, that's not going to be great. But it could be worse. It's not Truant. It all depends on what we're facing. If what we're facing has a terrible ability, well, then it sucks for that battle. If what we're facing has a good ability, then we have a good ability too. So, level playing field, I guess, anytime that Rampardos is out. And of course, for the first, 4 or 5 battles? 1, 2, 3, 4 battles? Um, for the first 4 battles, there's no way to strategize around that. Like, oh, let's bring him in because we think that thing might have huge power. Hey, it does have huge power, great. And then we go, like, we can't do that. It's, hey, Rampardos is out because Rampardos is all we have. All we have until Primo. And honestly, my hope is that we can get to Primo today. That we can get all of the eggs from Primo. And that in doing so, Rotom would have been fun. In getting the eggs from Primo, we can hatch them, and then maybe I can grind them up a little bit before we record episode 2, and maybe get them to like level 10, which is what I tried to do before I face Sprout Tower. Just me. And speaking of ghost types, Rotom. We can't hit. I was going to go fight it, but we can't do it. Just can't do it. Can't do it. Porygon we can beat. We can definitely beat down a Porygon. Yeah, so it was just a really fun week. It was a really just a lot going on, but all good things. We have a book that we're reading for work that I will probably finish tomorrow. I'll have my book club book that we're going to read on Friday, the whatever day that is. 20. This is a legendary. Now, in a Nuzlocke, even though we're not catching Pokemon, in a Nuzlocke, the Nuzlocke itself does not start until you get the Pokeballs. And we're going to honor that idea. In that, if we lose to the rival or to a random Pokemon right now before you have Pokeballs, it doesn't count as the lock ending. Unlike in Leaf Green, where we lost the lock. If once we get Pokeballs, we do lose, then the lock has been lost. And I will say right now that what I think we're going to do is 3 gyms or 10 episodes. If we are at the 3rd gym by episode 3, or the 3rd gym before episode 10 and we lose and we haven't beaten the third gym yet, we will restart the series. We'll re-randomize, we'll go again. If we get 10 episodes deep into the series and then we lose, but we've already completed the third gym. So whichever comes last, third gym or 10 episodes, whichever comes last, once we've crossed both of those boundaries, that's when we will think about series number 4. So Absorb's going to do good damage as long as it does not one-shot us. We beat the Badoo. It doesn't even come close. I thought it would probably do about half health, but I'm not mad about that. Obviously, Badoo's base stage, we are a fully evolved, but anyway. So to try to rephrase that, whichever comes second, episode 10 or the third gym. So basically, we have to be at least 3 gyms in and at least 10 episodes in for us to move on to Series 4. If we lose before both of those things have happened, we will re-randomize and we will try it again. This gift-only Pokemon, and it really is a lottery, especially from here on out. Because in the beginning, when we get those 3 starters, we have a little bit of wiggle room. We get to kind of say, yes, we want Rampardos. Here on out, we don't get a say. The next 4 Pokemon we get are random. The one when we get to Shucky, and that's it. We get Shucky. There's not a lot of we can choose. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We want this one. We don't want Badoo. No, if Badoo is in an egg from Primo, Badoo's on the team. We won't get a chance to be picky. And I'm doing the math in my head. I think by the time we leave Johto, we will have 7 Pokemon. I think that's right. So typically we name our rival after something that we want to conquer. Usually we've seen Fear. We beat Fear in Series 1. We lost. Our anxiety got the better of us in Series 2. So let's see. What are we going to battle here in Series number 3? I didn't think this ahead. Let's go with Nerves. Right, we battled Fear, Anxiety. Let's battle our Nerves next. So Nerves is our... I hit the wrong button. I spammed the wrong button. We'll go Nerves. Let's count. So we get the 3 eggs from Primo, plus the starter. That's 4, plus the Professor Elm egg. That's 5. Shucky is 6. Dratini is 7. I think we get a gift Pokemon. I know we could get a Kanto starter, but I think you have to beat the game. I don't think it's just beat the 8 gyms. I think you actually have to beat the game for that. So, we'll try it after the 8th gym. We'll see if we can go get a randomized Kanto starter. It won't actually, it might be a Kanto starter. It shouldn't be all 3 of them. It should be randomized. But we can try that after the 8th Kantonian gym and see. And yes, we have Mom save our money for us. I know it's a hot topic. I know it's a controversial take. But the reason I like to do that is because I've never done a randomizer here where we don't get a Moonstone. And one of our gift Pokemon might be a Nidorino, Nidorino. If I could speak, that would help. Might be a Jigglypuff. It might be a Clefable. Or a Clefairy, I guess, in that case. I'm missing a Pokemon that evolves with a Moonstone, probably. But yeah, we want the Moonstone because we want to be able to evolve anything that we do get. So, Lyra has Meryl still, and we're facing a Rattata, but I think that's just a setting I missed. And it doesn't matter because we never faced Lyra. We never... I don't think this matters at all. We've seen random encounters. We've seen that our starters were randomized. The eggs should be randomized when we get to Primo, like I said. the goal in this episode is to get there, and I will be better about posting that than I was in the Heart Gold because I'm a little bit better of an editor than I was during Heart Gold. Definitely not a good one, but better than I was, and that is the the goal for all of us, right? It's to get better than we were. That's all we can ask for from anybody, and that's all we should ask for from ourselves. I was trying to sneakily, maybe not so sneakily, pull up Rampardos' moveset as we were doing that, and talk too much with my hands. So, did not get lucky there. All right, so we get Pursuit at level 10, which is good. So we know at the very least by level 10 we can hit any and all Pokemon unless they have Wonder Guard, and we don't have a, and they're not weak to Ghost, I guess. We won't worry about Wonder Guard yet. We will just keep on keeping on. So, yeah, I also, maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't. I bought myself a new headphone set. Honestly, I bought it for work because I'm told we're going to be doing a ton of Zoom calls with incoming students, especially over the summer, to have that conversation and get them started in the university. Make sure that they're feeling like they're ready, like they're registered. Making sure that they're registered. I will be the one registering them, obviously with some insight. Um, trying to trying to get the headphones right. Of course, until I record, nothing. There's nothing happening in my world, and then I start recording, and all of a sudden, right, like, oh man, everything's itchy, and like the hat doesn't feel right now, and then there's this and that, and like, oh my gosh, I need to sneeze. Nothing. I could sit on the couch for 2 hours and nothing comes up, and all of a sudden I hit record, and it's like, oh, by the way, you we're gonna all of a sudden develop a slight cough and a bruise and a sneezing fit, and maybe you should pee again. I don't know. It's just weird stuff, right? Anyway, moving on from that. Yeah, so I bought these for work, thinking that hey, maybe these will help. Get a kind of headphone. They. I don't know anything about anything really. It's like maybe this would be good for doing the Zoom calls because they're gamer headphones, but they get the built-in mic down the side. So maybe this will help. They came in and um, literally just got home from work. I'm still in a shirt and tie. I'm still, looking dapper, looking fly. Didn't mean to rhyme, but we'll take it. And put the headphones on to kind of try them on and see how they feel and all that. And my wife looks at me and she goes, "You look ridiculous." What do you mean I look ridiculous? She's like, "Those are huge. What did you get those for?" And I'm like, "Oh, I got them for work. So I can do Zoom calls with students over the summer." And she's like, "I think you should use them for your YouTube thing. Because if a student sees you looking like that, they're not going to take you seriously." While I don't necessarily agree with her, when I did look at myself in the mirror, I did kind of think, yeah, they're a little bit bulky. They're bulkier than I thought, but they were really decent rating on the headphone. Don't ask me the brand. They were 50% off, and usually a lot more expensive than I would ever pay for headphones. My typical Sony, not sponsored by Sony, my typical Sony ones I adore. The ones I've worn in every other episode before. They are my favorite headphones. Over the head. They're actually, um, I've worn every other one. I love those headphones. I don't know what brand, or I don't know what make they are. But it's the second pair like that. I've had one, unfortunately, got broken by, I think, on the plane. I think, if I remember correctly, they were like in my bag in a way, and somebody stepped on the bag and it broke. Hey, we're back. um, Something popped up on the screen. I think I hit the window button and by mistake on my keyboard, so I apologize for that. Um, we should be back up and rolling. Hey, okay. But yeah, so I think I'm going to end up using those headphones instead for work because they don't look as bulky. They don't. Although looking at myself in the camera right now, I don't feel like these seem all that bulky. Um, but we'll see. We'll try some things out. I've got another pair of headphones that um, are. I don't have them up here, but they're like earbuds, but with like an over the earpiece. Because I don't like just straight up earbuds or like. No offense to Apple, like I don't like AirPods. I don't like that style of headphone. It's never been something I felt confident in. I always feel like they're going to fall out, to be honest. So, really enjoy something over the head like this. But they have like the little clip thing, puts the earbud in. And those tend to work really well. But I often use those more for like less for conversations because what's weird is it's 50-50. It really depends on who I'm talking to on the phone. Um, my aunt Alaska can't hear me when I'm on these, but on the other ones she hears me just fine. The over the shoulder ones. She heard me fine on these too. I actually tested these out with her. That way, if I do want to use them for Zoom calls or whatever, I know that they work. But anyway, that's that's a big reason why. So this isn't great because Graveler is resistant to normal type moves, which is all we have right now. Thankfully, thankfully we get the flinch. Thankfully, Alaska is a pretty good attacker. We are a bit of a glass cannon, and we would be weak to Graveler if Graveler had a ground move. But thankfully, we are through 2 battles and 2 up, 2 down. So we are cruising right along here. I know we are way over the 30-minute mark. Not way, way over. We're 35 minutes. We've only got a couple battles left before we can go to Primo and grab the 3 eggs. I think, 6 Pokemon we have to battle? Half to battle? Yeah, 2 here, 4 with the next trainer. Let's see what we trace here. Sandvale, which boosts evasiveness in a sandstorm, which there isn't one yet. So unless Pokemon number 2, which is a Flygon, has Sandstorm, does not, we don't have to worry about evasiveness. Alright, we are through 3 trainers, 1 to go before we get to Primo. There's another rhyme. This episode brought to you in part by Dr. Seuss. No, it's not. It's not brought to you by anybody. It's brought to you by me and the free software and the great people at Pokemon and people who made the Pokemon randomizers and all that fun stuff. The Fable should be decent experience points, so we will take that. 73, and not quite to level 9. Maybe this Pokemon can get us to level 9. I'm going to try with Primo to make it as short, as sweet as I can, but we're going to do it via mostly through editing. I want to save some PowerPoints here because I can't. Heart scale. That could come in handy. We never know. You know what? We'll wait to go get the item in there. We can sell some Pokeballs. We can get repels, all that fun stuff. So we will wait to go get that item until we've gone and seen Primo. Because we can... Ooh, a nugget, too. We can sell that. So good items so far. Of course, the run where we don't need to worry about buying Pokeballs, right? So yeah, we don't have to fight this trainer, but I like to. Let's get this trainer out of the way, and then we can just train in the grass as needed. Now, Victory Bell, only level 2, so I don't feel too scared about this. Has Flame Body, but has nothing but moves that will take us down, possibly in one shot if it were a higher level. But we're higher level, we're fast, we attack hard, we hit hard, and we take it down. Nuzleaf, we've already taken down its evolved form, so I feel like a Nuzleaf we should be fine with. We are. This is not good. This is not good because we cannot hit Duskull. We can't do it. So, we're going to be here for a while. And this might beat us. I mean, it's not going to do a lot. It's going to do 3 damage points. I think Nightshade has 15, maybe, PP. I'm looking it up as we go. Let's see. Nightshade has 15 PP. Obviously, we know that Lear has 30. All right, so all it has is 45 total moves. 15 times 3 is 45 for those of you playing the home game, which I know you're not. Which means we're going to win this battle. As long as we potion up at the right time, he cannot do more than 3 points of damage to us at any one time. So we can literally take 11 of those. He's at 2 before we go down. And the reason I'm going to stop play for a moment is because I'm going to try to bookmark this. I'm going to try to edit this part out so that you don't have to sit here and watch me stall this thing out. We're going to cut back near the end. Okay, so see you in a moment. All right, let's see if I time this well. Let's see. I wasn't counting at the beginning when we were talking earlier when the Lears came out, but we've got to be pretty close. Because we've used 20 of our focus energies. I'm saving the 5 headbutts because there's at least one more Pokemon to go. Yes, we let. There's the struggle. We let the Duskull whittle us down 10, so we had 6 points left. We healed up, and then we let it hit us the last 5 times. Then we healed ourselves to full. We're going to heal again right now, just to be extra safe. I don't think that struggle can crit, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And then we just went to focus energy mode to get ourselves pumped and waste some HP. That wasn't our only attacking move. So, as long as this isn't Ghost, it's not. Let's see if we can take it down with one shot. We're 7 levels higher. We're a good attacker. We got through it. So it just took a while, but we did get through it there and saved, hopefully, about 3 or 4 minutes worth of time stalling out the Duskull. So I'm really glad we got Focus Energy to help us out with that. But welcome back officially. Welcome. My favorite podcast right now. Every episode starts with welcome. And that would be Armchair Expert if you don't listen to podcasts. I highly recommend it. Dak Shepard, Monica Padman, and we have another legendary. We have another Kyogre. And we ain't fighting it. I'll tell you that for nothing. We got running away. Because even if we outspeed, which I think we would outspeed, I don't think we'd one-shot it. And even being 6 levels higher would not surprise me if it one-shot. Okay. So here's where we get to break out the old cell phone to see what we get here. So, for this, if you're unfamiliar, there is a generator online for the secret codes you can find. If you Google Heartgold secret code generator, you probably know how to Google. If you don't, Google it. Basically, you put in your trainer ID number. It gives you the words for the different Primo eggs. So we're going to put in 19957. And there we go. And we get all of our names so that we can collect these eggs from Primo. So, Primo, my friend, I've come for the eggs. And you know what? Sorry, not sorry. We're using the mouse for this because this is going to be so much quicker by using the mouse. If you don't like it, pause or something. Fighting pressure are the first two here. Pressure. Confirm. And then serious sweets. Serious sweets. All right, let's see what egg number 1 is going to be. Oh, yes! We take those. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Oh, I'm fired up. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Invincible Brother. Nap unaware. All right. Pokemon number 2. Ho, ho, ho! Okay. Okay. I need a drink of water. I need a drink of water after that. We're gonna talk after number 3. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. Let's go to number 3. Thank you, sir. May I have another unburdened happiness? Yes. What a great message for all of us. Unburdened happiness and poison no guard. All right. Egg number 3. We've been very lucky so far on eggs 1 and 2. What do we get for number 3? A flying type. We will take that. I like Chatot. I don't love Chatot, but I like Chatot a lot. Excuse me. I think Chatot is overrated or underrated, criminally underrated. So we will take those. All right. So let's talk. I said we're going to talk. Let's talk and let's wrap up this episode because, man, oh man, woman, oh woman, non-binary, oh non-binary. That was awesome. So let me tell you this. I have been nervous about this idea for the concept because I have done these before on my own, not recorded, not for the channel, where I can't learn cut from the get go. And we get through the first, the primo eggs, and then we get the egg from Elm, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything. Like I can't proceed in the game. And I was really afraid that if we were going to randomize this and we're going to do this gift Pokemon only run, that I would get nothing. Like we'd end up with Magikarps and Feebas and like just wasn't going to work out the way that I was hoping. And we got very lucky. To get Rampardos, who I know can learn a lot of the HMs. We get for Alligator, who can learn most of the HMs. We get Tyranitar, who can learn some good HMs. But just in general, for Alligator and T-Tar are phenomenal Pokemon. As long as one of the 4 of the Pokemon we're going to have, or add the 5th and can learn Cut, we're golden. And I'm 99% sure, if nothing else, that for Alligator does. In fact, you know what? We've got the phone up. Let's just check it out right here. For Alligator, Gen 4. Let us see what we've got. Gen 4 HMs. Cut, Surf, Strength, Whirlpool, Rock Smash, Waterfall, and Rock Climb. Literally, I think the only one that doesn't learn is Fly, and we have a Fly mod. So we can do the run. Will we survive the run? That's a whole different question, but can we do it? We can. And so thank you to the randomizer gods, if you will, lowercase g, the real big god with a big G, whatever deity it is that helped us with this. Thank you. We appreciate it. We take that. Um, and we look forward. If you want me to name one of those Pokemon after you leave a comment down below, because we will record episode 2 probably tomorrow night. At this point, we've gone about an hour here. We need to edit this one. We need to get this baby loaded for Monday night. Leave a comment. We will get this up again Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you like and subscribe and ring the bell, you will be notified when these episodes go up. But what a great start to the Pokemon SoulSilver gift-only randomizer Nuzlocke. It's a mouthful, but it's fun, and we're off to a hot start. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, until next time.